Hi, welcome to my channel, Expansion Scapes. My name is Olga, and I'm a shamanic healing practitioner, a spiritual fiction and nonfiction writer, an artist, and a deep diver within and without. So I like to explore the world within and the world without using my psychic and physical perception. I recently felt a desire to dive into human emotions one by one and just explore them for myself. And then as I started to do that, I realized that I wanted to share it with whoever wanted to dive with me. And it's important to note that when I dive into emotions and I share it here, it doesn't mean that what I find is necessarily, the whole truth about that emotion for everyone. But my intention here is to, I guess, be vulnerable enough to explore human emotions that may not all be about pleasure and joy. And in doing this, I'd like to share that, it's possible. And through self-awareness of our emotions, of how we function, we can find freedom in making new decisions, new choices. Just seeing that, oh, look, this is me, this is how I function, and if I choose to, I can continue to do that if I like this. And if I don't like something, I actually have the power and freedom to change something. So my intention is that as I'm sharing what I find about human emotions within me, some stuff will be relevant to whoever would be interested to watch this video, and some stuff would not be relevant. But my intention is to help see how something like that can be done openly and without fear and without pain and suffering. And I would be happy if someone would find this useful and would be able to dive into their emotions and discover themselves for themselves, become more self-aware and therefore more free, and take new decisions, make new decisions about themselves and transform themselves and become more free, more healed, and become the more authentic you, basically. And when I was making a decision about which emotion should I explore first and share here on YouTube, I contacted my guides and I asked for guidance, and they showed me the emotion of loneliness. And they showed me particularly a lot of people, like families and friends and loved ones, getting together, especially now as I'm filming this. It's really close to Christmas time, and I guess a lot of people are celebrating something, different holidays. So I saw images of people being maybe in crowded rooms and being all together and pretty much being surrounded by people, but actually feeling lonely anyway. And I also saw visions of people who, couldn't do that. They couldn't be together with someone. So I guess this emotion of loneliness is relevant for right now as I am recording this. But obviously, this is not relevant only in December of this year. So it's just a note. So when I started diving into loneliness for me, my guides asked me, instead of diving into loneliness, why don't you tell us what you think is opposite loneliness? What is the euphoric, super duper fantastic opposite of loneliness? Like a utopian opposite. And what I figured for myself was this. I drew a picture. And when I psychically perceive things, it's mostly visual. So it's mostly pictures. And that's why I find it useful to show pictures. And this I drew how I saw my utopian perception of something opposite to loneliness. And I don't know an English word for this, so I just said opposite to loneliness. These are two consciousnesses. For me, this is the opposite of loneliness. These are two consciousnesses, okay? And the way I see them is like flashing lights and stuff happening. And basically, this is another consciousness, and they're separated. And for me, this separation is actually our perception organs. But it doesn't really matter for this video. Just let's say they're separated, okay? And we can say that we are all one on one level, right? The whole universe, the whole of creation, we are one consciousness. But also we're separate. So we're having experiences right now of separate beings. So these are two separate consciousnesses interacting with each other. And for me, the opposite would be that, let's say, this is me, okay? And this consciousness, who is not me, it can be a person, it can be anybody. That consciousness would look at me and it would say three things. I see you, I know you, and I love you. So let me explain. I see you, I know you, I love you. I see you means this other consciousness saw completely everything within me, like even my darknesses. I actually noticed that, especially my darknesses, and darknesses that I perceive to be darknesses within me. Not necessarily objective darknesses, but something that I perceive as dark, as embarrassing, shameful, not good in any way, shape, or form. And it would see those darknesses within me. And not just see, but know, like every single thing, like roots, all the circumstances of how these darknesses came about and why I have them still, and all of my feelings about them, all of my shame about them, all of my fears, all of my embarrassment, all of my guilt or something, everything. That consciousness would see everything and know everything, meaning it would know everything around those darknesses, how things came about. And this consciousness, other than me, would say, I love you. And that somehow for me is the complete opposite of loneliness. And then I started to dive deeper to understand, okay, so what is loneliness and what is the purpose of feeling loneliness? What is the purpose? And what I feel that it serves a purpose. It has a meaning. Just like you and I have purpose and meaning, our emotions also have purpose and meaning, right? I forgot to mention, but when I was thinking of the super opposite to loneliness, I was thinking, okay, I have this picture, but where is the conversation? Because I thought, I guess maybe something about not being opposite to lonely, you need to have a conversation, you need to have like some kind of interaction, isn't that it? And then I realized that, okay, well, this vision is a psychic vision where as the questions arise, the answer already comes to you. So the conversation is happening, but super quickly, psychically, instantaneously, because as this consciousness looks at me and says, I see you, I know you, I love you, a tremendous amount of information exchange has to happen, which is conversation, meaning a lot of questions and a lot of answers. So every time the consciousness would see something in me, that would be an inquiry, some kind of question. And then the answer would be this opening of me and showing and explaining and talking. So this feeling of opposite to loneliness does include conversation, but in the vision is just like instantaneous. In the physical life, we would actually have probably hours and hours of talk, right? Physical talk, conversation. Okay, so back to the meaning and purpose and function of feeling the emotion of loneliness. So when I asked myself and my guides and loneliness, what is the meaning and purpose and function of loneliness, of feeling the emotion of loneliness within me? And I felt that the need that it was meeting within me was to address my darknesses, basically, to have them seen, to have them known, and to have them loved by another consciousness, because somehow I haven't yet seen and known and loved those parts of me myself yet. So it's almost like a automatic autopilot. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an automatic system that if there are darknesses detected within me, I will be seeking another consciousness, because I haven't yet done this for myself. I could do this by myself. I could look within my darknesses and I could see them and know them, meaning explore them, become aware of them. And as I become aware of them, I mean, this is how healing happens. When we look and we see and we know, we dig deeper, dive deeper, and become completely aware of something with compassion, with love. We shed our light on it, basically. When we see, it's like, I see you, like I shed light on you, like this is illuminated now. And as it becomes illuminated, it becomes healed. And even in the state, however it is, as more light is illuminated there, I realize I have more choices, right? And I can take different choices. I can keep the same choices because I'm coming from the place of awareness. In that, I would be more loved. I would love those parts of me more, those darknesses. And perhaps in the process, those darknesses would not be dark anymore. They would be light. They would be love. I would be loving them. And I'm sorry if you hear noises, because I have two cats playing with the rubber band next to me. And talking about loneliness, my cat loves to play with his rubber band, and he loves to be watched. He can't play somewhere else. He loves it. He loves to be watched. He likes to be seen, known, and loved as he plays with his rubber band, because I can see he's actually showing off his skills when he jumps in all kinds of loops. Every time he does something crazy, he would actually look at me and look at my reaction. And sometimes I would laugh, and I think that he understands that I love him. And what are these darknesses I'm talking about? When I say darknesses, in one way I mean shadows, some traumas that have not been healed, some pain and suffering that is still going on. But also I feel that a darkness is also a kind of a question. It is a place where light is needed and illumination is needed. So it's a kind of, it's a question, it's an inquiry within me. And that is why it is not settled yet, because the answer hasn't been received yet. It means I'm still in the process. Like, these are actually the active parts of me, because they're still open. They haven't been answered. And in this journey of answering these curiosities, questions, desires within me, I experience it as darkness, as something that is not 100% pleasurable and feeling like love and joy. So I wanted to say that this darkness is not necessarily something to be looked at as some kind of evil stuff that needs to be eradicated or something. It's not evil stuff for eradication. It's it's almost like the juice of life of me, which is questions. and something I haven't figured out yet. And I'm feeling that as I cover some of the darknesses, I'll have new questions, I'll have new desires, and those will be perceived within me as darknesses because I am, as a soul, as a human being, I am, as a consciousness, I am ever expanding, right? And my channel's name is Expansion Scapes. I am ever expanding because I'm ever having new questions. As soon as I have one question answered, I have like 1,000 more, This is how I grow. This is how I expand. So these darknesses, I just want to say, like, they're not necessarily to be seen as so evil or something, although they may be perceived as pain and suffering currently, but we also have the ability, the opportunity to look at them, to know them, to see them, to know them, and to love them in a process of healing that I think we can experience it as healing, but not for all darknesses all the time, like that. It's hard to generalize, and I don't want to. And I wanted to share with you a little trip, a little journey that showed me a bit more about loneliness and the need for other consciousnesses, other beings, other people. So I saw that I was trapped. A part of me was trapped, like a little like a ghost, like a part of my energy or like a part of my soul was hanging out by some old building where people used to live, but it was abandoned, and those people didn't live anymore. And somehow part of me was hanging out there because I really, really missed those people. Because with those that lived in that house and was a family of mine, I was a part of that family. And I felt the joy. I remember the joy, the complete acceptance. Like, they knew me, they saw me, they knew me, they loved me. They accepted me, like, completely. And I felt really, really accepted, and I felt really loved, and I felt a sense of belonging, which I feel is a general human need. And then, with those people gone, it was just really heartbreaking to see that I didn't want to go and explore the world. That, at least that part of me, didn't want to go and explore the world and live a life and go anywhere and do anything else, because that part of me felt that I can't go into the world because I won't be accepted. It's like, with that family, I can go and do anything because I felt like it's a safety cloud, like an entourage, like a group of friends with whom you can go anywhere and do anything and feel confident and safe and accepted and belonging. So it was really heartbreaking to see that that part wouldn't actually want to go and experience life because it didn't have that entourage, and it would rather stay and bask in the little pleasure of the memories, the melancholy, the nostalgia of those good times, of those good people, of that good company, of that feeling of belonging, rather than go and live life. And that is also loneliness, as I saw. It's a little bit like when you are in high school and you have a friend or a bunch of friends, and anything with those people, like maybe with like one girlfriend. I used to have that. I used to have one friend, and with that friend I felt safe, secure, accepted. And with that friend we could go anywhere and do anything and go to the most strangest places, new places, meet people we didn't know, and we would both feel safe because, well, we had each other and we already knew that we accepted each other. So it's like a kind of protection system or something. But then, high school finishes, and then, you do graduate and you become an adult, and you need to learn how to go and live life without a constant entourage of safe people. And I don't know, I guess maybe that could continue in a healthy way. But at least for me, I learned that I need to learn the lesson of being able to be on my own. This journey showed me that this kind of picture, it's kind of like seeking for, at least for me, for those darknesses that I haven't addressed yet. I am seeking for approval from another consciousness, but I can actually, for being seen, for belonging, for love from another illumination from another consciousness. But can we do this for ourselves? Can I do this for myself? Yes, this is what healing is. And this is what shamanic healing can help you with, is to retrieve those parts of souls of you who are still maybe stuck somewhere because they are afraid to go, I don't know, for whatever reason, they're stuck somewhere. This is one of the things that shamanic healing can help you with. Can I address these darknesses of mine instead of seeking another consciousness? Yes. And I feel like here's the kind of the trick, the healing trick, not the key to healing, I guess I can say, is it's okay to seek. It's when the need for approval from another consciousness changes. Let's say I addressed a particular darkness of mine and I illuminated it. It doesn't mean that, oh, okay, so I never have a need to be seen and be known and be loved by another consciousness. Doesn't mean that I can just heal that out of me and just like not need any human beings ever at all again. Or, any other consciousnesses, not human beings, doesn't matter. And I asked that question and I realized I got the answer that yes, there is a healthier approach to meeting a need that is an emotional feeling of loneliness. And that would look like a healthy type of appreciation. So the need no longer to be, approved of by someone else because I can't do it for myself because I haven't healed certain things within me yet. But instead of the need for approval from someone else, it changes to the pleasure of being appreciated. And it feels to me natural and healthy. It's like another side of the coin, but natural and healthy rather than, based on lack, some kind of unhealed shadow, darkness, and lack. The opposite side would be the need for appreciation. I think it's a healthy need, just like we have needs for, food, water, shelter. I feel it is a healthy need. And the example would be like, let's say I'm drinking water. I am having an interaction with the soul of water, right? And when I drink water, especially if I'm thirsty, I would feel a natural appreciation for water. I would appreciate it. Does the water have that need? No, it doesn't need me to appreciate it. But when I appreciate it, would it feel pleasure? Yes. The same with me, a human being. If I am in a constant need and hunger for another's approval, it feels unhealthy to me. But if I am doing something, I'm just being me. Like even I'm talking right now, I am being me. I am sharing something from the depth of me. And there would be some who wouldn't appreciate it because they don't have a need for it. They don't have a taste for it. They don't have a question for it. And that's fine. And then there would be someone I hope there would be someone who would look at this and go, oh, I appreciate this. I appreciate this video. I appreciate this person taking time to share these things, because now, I have my own kind of like ideas on how I want to dive into my stuff. Not necessarily loneliness, but anything. So that would be like a natural sense of appreciation. And would that give me pleasure? Yes, it would. And I feel like it's a natural, healthy way of interacting between consciousnesses. So in healing, whatever is the darkness of that, when loneliness feels like suffering, like not good, and when we would heal that, we would change the need for approval to the need and more like the ability to receive appreciation, I think. So this was my journey with loneliness. And I'd like to say once again that this was that I shared my personal discovery of the emotion of loneliness. And it doesn't mean that everybody has the same structure of loneliness and the reasons and purposes for feeling the emotion of loneliness. But some stuff can be similar and some stuff can be different. And again, the intention for this video is to encourage people to take a look at and take a dive deep within themselves, become more aware of themselves, and realize there are choices and we can heal things. So as I shared things with you, I haven't yet healed those parts of me that I talked about with you, because I actually wanted to keep them alive to share. And after this video, I can proceed and to heal, especially that part of me that's still stuck at that abandoned building. And actually, my guides gave me an idea. I think I'll do it, and you'll see a link if I did it. They're saying that you can do a pick a card tarot reading on different reasons why people feel loneliness and what is the different purpose, meaning and function of loneliness for different people. So that would be like, I guess, like 3 different collectives or 4 different collectives I would be tapping into. So if I do that video, I guess I'll add the link in this description box to this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would be happy. I would feel pleasure and joy if you appreciated it. And by the way, I would really appreciate it also if you like the video to actually click the like button and subscribe, so that I can see that this kind of video, this kind of content has people who would like to see it. So that would be like a way for me to know that, oh, okay, so this kind of content is appreciated and I would do more of that content. If you're interested in booking a shamanic healing session online with me, you can email me at expansionscapes@gmail.com and we can schedule a meeting. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.